My opponent is against oil, guns, and God. With poisonous anti-American lies. To combat the toxic left-wing propaganda in our schools, I announced last week that we are launching a new pro-American lesson plan for students. 1776 Commission. We will teach our children the truth about America, that we are the most exceptional nation on the face of the earth and getting better every single day. We're not going to let it fail. The Democrat Party has joined forces with flag burners, anarchists, anti-police people, they're extremists, agitators, and then they say, oh no, this was a peaceful protest. This is a peaceful protest. They know what I'm talking about. They know our great uniform, brilliant, we love them. But you know what? We call it a peaceful protest now because the only thing you're allowed to do in Pennsylvania, you can't go to church, right? You can't meet, you can't congregate, you can't look at each other. You can't give your wife a kiss goodnight, you gotta wear a mask. You can't do anything. They got you closed up. Don't go out to dinner. Stay where you are. Michigan, same thing, like the governor. Her husband went boating. It was a disaster because nobody's allowed. He was the only boat. He had this massive, beautiful lake. You know the lake I'm talking about. It's a big lake. And then a guy tried to put a boat. Who is it? It's the husband of the governor. And that didn't work out too well for her. But the only thing you're allowed to do is protest. And they have a line. You can't go to church. You can't be with your neighbors. But if you're going to protest and burn down stores and loot stores and shoot people and step on people's faces and do all sorts of bad things that these people will protect you from doing if they were given their rightful power and dignity back. So they have a clause. Stand up, fellas, stand up. They've got to be able to do their job. You got to let them do their job. Got to be able to do your job, right? They let you do your job, you'd see Pennsylvania. They had some big, bad crime numbers in your state. You let them do your job. Any state, New York's finest. By the way, I got endorsed by New York's finest. First time they've ever endorsed. And you know, that's hard when you have radical left running the city, all politicians, the mayor. And I got endorsed by the Chicago police. Can you imagine that? And I got endorsed by Oklahoma, and I got endorsed by Texas and Louisiana, and I got endorsed by Florida, the sheriffs. All the sheriffs got together, they endorsed Trump. I got endorsed by law enforcement, everybody. But how could you possibly endorse people that hate you and don't respect the job you do and don't let you do your job, most importantly? Because if they let you do what you do better than anybody else in the world, you wouldn't have problems. And these are other police departments. You look at Seattle. We said we're going in, and they immediately said, we'll put up our hands, right? It was so easy. We were going in the following day. You look at Portland. How about Portland? It's like an anarchist dream. And we're dealing with the governor, because, you know, I hate to say it, but they're all Democrat-run cities and states, all of them, every single one. The Republicans are doing great, but they have to ask, by law, they have to ask us to go in. Biden championed every globalist betrayal of Pennsylvania for half a century. He was a cheerleader for the worst trade deal ever made by any country, NAFTA, and China's entry into the World Trade Organization, which built China like a rocket ship. They were flatlined for many, many decades, and then right through the roof. That was a Biden approval, too. These disasters ripped out 1/3 of your state's manufacturing jobs. You know what happened. Biden shouldn't be asking for your vote. He should be begging for your forgiveness. He did a terrible job.